Do people still like Dave Matthews? Guitar player, songwriter, actor, what's your opinion of him? In this video, I'll be sharing my opinion about why he was and is such an interesting person and musical artist. Please leave a comment and let me know your take on this man, this myth, this legend. Dave Matthews has been around a long time, since like the 1920s or something. He was actually the artist that got me excited about playing the guitar way back when I was a freshman in high school. To be completely honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the Dave Matthews Band. Truthfully, they're still not my favorite, but someone showed that little freshman Kyle the Live at Radio City concert with Tim Reynolds, and I was completely hooked by the music. It was the songwriting, the guitar playing, his personality on stage. It was just all so insanely cool. And from that day on, I started trying to learn pretty much every Dave Matthews song I could get my hands on. So today I'm gonna give you 3 reasons that Dave Matthews has had such an impact on people, from his songwriting to his guitar playing to his charisma on stage. And whether or not you agree with my take on Dave, hopefully it can inspire you to be a better songwriter, a better guitar player, and be better on stage. Number 1, his songwriting. Let's be frank here. Dave Matthews writes more like a novelist than a typical songwriter. He's almost like the Ernest Hemingway of lyrics. If you've ever read any Ernest Hemingway, his lyrics read sort of like that, like a book. Take these lyrics from Stay or Leave, one of my favorite Dave songs. May be different, but remember, winter's warm where you and I, kissing whiskey by the fire with the snow outside. When the summer comes, in the river, swims at midnight, shiver cold. Touch the bottom, you and I, with muddy toes. It's beautiful. Dave Matthews is a master at painting pictures, but he doesn't just tell you what's happening in a straightforward way. Like in that first verse of Stay or Leave, he writes, winter's warm. What? No, Dave, winter's not warm, winter's cold. He kind of twists things a little bit. And then in the next few lines, he doesn't just say, then we went for a swim in the river. No, he writes, when the summer comes, in the river, swims at midnight, shiver cold. So it's sort of disjointed, like puzzle pieces that all the pieces are there, but they haven't quite been put together yet. And in a weird way, that just sort of makes you feel it more. And then moving past the chorus and into verse 2, we get, wake up naked, drinking coffee, making plans to change the world, while the world is changing us. We used to laugh under the covers, maybe not so often now. The way I used to laugh with you was loud and hard. Making plans to change the world while the world is changing us. That's a good line. And that last line of the verse is just so jarring. The way I used to laugh with you was loud and hard. He just throws in that ice cold fact. Too many of those, just throwing in the facts, would be cheesy and annoying, I think. But mixed in with the rest of the lyrics, it just works. And that line just sticks with you. And just so many of his lines, they just kind of lodge themselves in your brain and it's hard to forget the lyrics. The second reason Dave has had such an impact on the music world is his guitar playing. Most of you probably already know that the acoustic guitar is Dave's primary instrument, and 99% of the time he's on stage, he's playing one. But did you know that he plays it in a way that is completely unlike most other acoustic players? This can probably be attributed to the fact that he's been playing with what seems like a 40-man band for most of his career. There's so many people on stage. And when there's more instruments in a song, each instrument has less room to work in the frequency space, and they have to slim down their approach to make room for each other. So this attempt to free up space for other instruments and vocals is one way to explain why Dave uses this 2 or 3 note technique so often. Instead of playing chords that use all 6 strings, he focuses his attention on just 2 or 3 strings, usually a low bass note and another higher hook note or 2. You'll almost never see him play just the typical G position or C position or things like that. He's almost always playing some bizarre looking stretches consisting of a bass note and 1 or 2 other notes. This keeps things fresh and makes him stand out as a player. Last but definitely not least, it's his charisma that makes him stand out. Dave is a very memorable person. Now, it's one thing to write standout lyrics, another to be a great musician and guitar player, but you don't have the whole package unless you can command a stage or a camera, and Dave does. Now, it's worth noting that I've never actually seen him live, but I've watched countless hours of him on DVDs and on YouTube, which counts, right? He's one of those people who just kind of says stuff.
Cause that you throw it down and say that sit by a campfire, say burning up, burning up, burning up, baby.
Into the microphone, whether it's corny jokes or thoughts about God and the universe, or sometimes just plain gibberish.
I feel like we're all just like, what?
In fact, there's plenty of songs where he sings just absolute nonsense words that have zero meaning and the crowd just goes wild for it.
But I keep you dead and I run around the world till they give it no lie.
It's part of who he is. Not to mention, Dave has been an actor in several movies, and he's actually pretty good. He's just a magnet. When he gets in front of people or on a stage, he just has that it thing. In some ways, it's kind of hard to define what it is, but it makes you want to watch him and see what he's going to do next. So now you understand my opinion as to why people like Dave Matthews. Fascinating songwriting, unique guitar playing, and an onstage personality that makes you stare. So tell me, what is your opinion of Dave Matthews? Do you still like him? Do you love him? Can you not stand him? Let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. Thanks for watching. I'm Kyle Scott. Check out my channel for more guitar tips, tricks, and deep dives. I'll see you on the next video.